To this information meeting by the Values project that will cover information about the ongoing work in the project and also information about the new open web repository hosting elements of verification and validation processes. My name is Ulrika Ek and I am Communications Manager for the project, and I also represent RISE Research Institutes of Sweden today. We will have two speakers for today. The first one is Behrooz Sanjouli. Behrooz is a researcher in the Dependable Transport Systems Unit at RISE Research Institutes of Sweden. And Behrooz is also the coordinator of the Values project. His current research interest include the use of fault and attack injection experiments for dependability and security assessment of computer systems, as well as to conduct interplay analysis between non-functional requirements such as safety and security. And Behrooz will give us an insight to the current work of the project. After this, we will meet Joseba Aguirre, a professor researcher at the Department of Electronics and Computer Science at the Mondragon University. Joseba is telecommunications engineer from the University of the Basque Country and PhD in computer science from Mondragon University. And the research work of Joseba is mainly focused on model-driven software development and verification and validation. And Joseba is also one of the work package leaders in the Values project. And he will guide us through the repository. So, Behrooz, I start giving the floor to you.
Great. Very happy to be presenting a summary of the status of the project in the past couple of years. So as you know, Values is a 3-year research project that receives funding from the Excel joint undertaking. Before I go into a bit of detail of the summary of the work that we've been doing, I would like to send the greetings of the Values Consortium to all of you who have joined this information meeting. This picture was taken yesterday. We have 2 packed days of activities. Yesterday we had a consortium meeting and general assembly. And right now, in the venue that we are in Hamburg, we are conducting a demonstrator session where project partners are showcasing their project results. So the consortium of Values consists of 41 project partners from 10 different countries with a mixed range of large-scale and medium and small-scale enterprises, as well as academic partners, universities and research institutes. And the total Horizon 2020 project cost is about 26 million euros. What motivated us to start with this project has been the fact that automated systems have been around for a long time, and automation is heavily used in safety critical systems. Safety critical systems are those that failures in them could harm human life or the environment. So manufacturers of automated systems in the past have been allocating an enormous amount of time and effort in order to make sure that these systems are produced and they are delivered to the market. Functionality has always been the center of attention to make sure that the products go to the market. However, from the point in time of building demonstrators and prototypes until the time that the product goes out to the market, there are significant amounts of work that needs to be done. For example, to make sure that these systems are safe and secure. This is why manufacturers of automated systems would need to look into different requirements, regulations, and follow guidelines, which is not a trivial task to do, because with the more integrated that these systems get and the interconnection between these systems, the complexity of making sure that these systems are safe and secure increases as well. Examples of some of these automated systems in the automotive domain, for example, are the intelligent transportation systems, in the avionics engine controllers, in the robotics, it could be the human-robot interaction. So one needs to make sure that these systems are evaluated properly and verified and validated, which, as I mentioned, is a very time-consuming and costly process, which motivated us to start with the project by defining a specific objective, which is to design, implement, and evaluate state-of-the-art methods and tools that allow us to reduce the time and cost to verify and validate automated systems with respect to safety and security properties. For us to be able to address this objective, we look into the verification and validation methods, verification and validation tools. We apply them on use cases in the project in order to evaluate the readiness and acceptance of the technologies developed in the project. Looking at the verification and validation methods, within the project, we've been improving over 40 verification and validation methods in the past years. We have been classifying these methods into different classes. For more details about this, of course, I encourage you to take a look at a scientific article that we published at Qualtic 2021. In addition to improving verification and validation methods, one of the innovative points of the project is that we also combine verification and validation methods, because the project partners come from different backgrounds. They have expertise in different verification and validation methods. And by combining some of these methods, we managed to create a method that has a higher percentage of improvement for us. What drive the improvement process were the limitations and gap of cyber physical systems, as well as the base verification and validation methods that we have studied. And some of these limitations is on the functionality side, or complying with standards, or accuracy, or even cost. Apart from method, we've been looking also into verification and validation tools. Also there, we've been improving as well as developing more than 40 verification and validation tools in the project. And in addition to that, we've been designing a verification and validation modeling language, which allows us to create a workflow between the activities done in a verification and validation process. If you want to know more about this, I also encourage you to take a look at another scientific article that we have published as part of the SAMOS workshop in 2021. All the scientific articles that I mentioned today, they are also already on our project website under this publications that you can follow. But the aim of the project is not only to improve methods and tools, but also to apply them and evaluate them. And that we do by applying these methods and tools on a set of use cases, 13 in the case of the project, which comes from 6 different domains, which also allow us this multi-dimensionality of the use cases, allow us to look into methods and tools that have been used in a certain domain in other domains, which is also something that the project partners have benefited from. If you want to know more about the project use cases, you can take a look at the project website under the Domains and Use Cases tab. We have also produced a large set of videos which are in our YouTube channel explaining the verification and validation methods and tools and the project use cases. In addition to that, if you want to know more and really get closer to the demonstrators that we have built in the project, on the 29th of June next year, we will have a final demo, which is going to be open to public. And you would receive more information about this on our project website, and it would be a good opportunity for you to also be there and discuss the improvements that we have done with the project partners. Before I pass on the mic to Joseba, I'd like to also mention another point that we have been doing, which is the reason that we have this information meeting today, and that's connected to a build-up of a verification and validation framework, as well as a web-based repository, where we collect the information that we have gathered and the results of our analysis with respect to methods, tools, and other aspects, and we place this information into a website. This website has been closed so far, open only to the project partners in order to be able for us to make sure that the content is sound. And now today we have opened the website to the public, and we would like to make sure that the community make the best out of this website. Our work on updating this website and populating this content is not done yet. The project ends next year, and we're going to continue updating this website with new data that we collect in the project. I'll be happy to take some questions at the end, but for now I will pass on the mic to Joseba. Thank you.
Okay, so good morning. Now I'm going to explain a little bit the context, the overview, and the reason why maybe we have created the framework first, and then we have uploaded and stored all the information, and now we are making public to the community. Okay. So the idea of the multidimensional framework that we created in Work Package 2 at the beginning of this project was to create a structure of the data that helps us to store and to classify all the information that we are generating through this project. The information is regarding the methods, the tools that we are developing and improving. So the idea was to generate a structure that helps us to store the data and also to search that data, creating a kind of state of the art of the methods and the tools that we are using in this project. When we start defining the framework, we didn't want to focus just in one single aspect of security, safety, or of the VMV. No? We wanted to create something maybe more comprehensive and easier for the community that can help anyone searching, finding, uploading information regarding the VMV method. As Veros mentioned, we have a lot of domains, different use cases, so it's quite complicated to take into account all the aspect that has each of the domains, and the verification and validation can be quite different between those domains. So the idea was to create something more generic, and that way it's easier to upload and to understand the information that we have created through this project. And let's see if once the project is sent also, this can be maintained doing, uploading information, searching and updating everything. So the idea was we have developed and improved methods. We have also the tools, the use cases. So in a work package of this project, we defined a structure that we call the multidimensional framework for VMV of automated systems regarding safety, cybersecurity, and privacy features. Okay, so we defined first a structure that we call the framework, and then we have implemented that framework in a web repository. The idea is to store all the information regarding the methods, the tools and the use cases, and also the results that we are going to achieve in the next milestone of the project, that are the evaluation of the results of the demonstrator. So the idea is to store all the information in the web repository. So we have created a content management system. Okay, but when we were defining the multidimensional framework, we need to answer some questions. What are we evaluating? When? Why? How are we going to evaluate? What are the improvements that we want to achieve using those methods and tools in those use cases? So we started defining the multidimensional framework. So the structure that we defined in that framework tries to answer those questions. And another question that we start talking about at the beginning of this project was, who is going to use this information? Who are going to be the stakeholders? The project members, of course, but we also decided to open this information to the community because we think that is something important to share this information, okay, and to keep that alive after the project. So we define what we want, the user stories, what we want to show, what we want to store. So the idea is, first, we want to characterize VMV method, we want to characterize VMV tools. So we are going to create the structure and we are going to upload and store that information. And also the most important thing is that we open this for the community and also for the partners of VALU3S, the way that we have a lot of methods, a lot of tools, and we want to see if we can use some really interesting method that has been used in some use cases. So the searching and the views functionality is something really important. So also we are not only uploading information, we are also exposing some searching features to search method, tools, compare. That way anyone in the community can select or can learn about other experience of VMV processes. So we presented the framework. We defined it in the first year, the framework structure, and we presented this year in September in EDCC, the structure of the framework that we are using. And we are using to implement this structure in the web repository that we are making public today. So we have 8 dimensions that they help us characterizing the different VMV methods. We have the first one, that is the evaluation environment. That can be a laboratory environment, can be in production. We have also the evaluation types. We have experimental, analyticals. We have also the type of component under evaluation. That can be software, hardware, or model. We have also the evaluation tool type that can be open source or can be private. We have also in which of the development stages is being used the method or the tool. Okay, so we have all the stages. We can characterize and say in which of the stages is being used the method or the tool. We have also what is the aim of the component under evaluation, and also we have the requirement that we are evaluating using this tool. And finally, we have the result, the improvement that we have achieved using this. So we have those dimensions to characterize a method or a tool that we are using in a use case. Okay, here you can see the framework that we presented in EDCC. Okay, with this slide, we want to show that we don't have only the dimension and the layers of the framework. We also have a lot of elements. As you can see in the picture, we have tools, VMV tools, but we have also the use cases, the evaluation scenarios that we are using in those use cases, the test cases, the requirements. So we use the dimensions to characterize, and then we can do the searching, the comparison using those aspects. Okay, when we decided to create the framework, so we also search for different frameworks that exist, okay, nowadays in the state of the art of the VMV. And when we made the comparison, the idea was all of the framework impact in all the dimensions that we have defined in our framework, because we think that those dimensions are the ones that help us doing a searching or doing a comparison that can help us searching for a method that can help in my problem, my concrete problem. So we think that all the dimensions are the ones that generate a correct information. Okay, so we compare with other frameworks, and maybe the other frameworks, they were like a little bit more concrete with single aspects. Okay, so the framework that we use and we define it is something more generic that impact in all of the 8 dimensions that we have defined. Okay, so now we are going. We have been working a lot with this repository. We have coordinated a lot of partners to store all the data. We have been working, let's say, privately inside of the VALU3S project. So now we are going to show what we have made public. Okay, in this moment for the community, you can see all the information. Okay, during this project, we will continue updating, generating more content. Okay, but that permission is only going to be in the VALU3S project members. Okay, for the community, you have the possibility to read the information, to access to the information, but for the moment, you cannot create information content in this web repository. Okay, so now here. Okay, so this is the web repository. Here you can see the here. Okay, here is the URL. I will show you in the next slide also the URL, the link of the web repository, but you can access also from the VALU3S website to this web repository. So first, we have a short introduction, and then also, if you want to check a little bit more details about the framework, you have the link to the paper that we published in September. Okay, and here you can see the main menu. We have the use cases, the 13 use cases created through the project. For example, you can go to the 14, the card you will. Here we have a description, who is the owner, who are the organization that they are partners of this use case. You have a short description. And then you have here the evaluation scenario list. In each of the evaluation scenario, we are using our methods, we are using our tools to do the evaluation and verification, okay? Here you can see also the workflows of the VMV methods and tools that we are using in those use cases. For example, if we navigate, browse to evaluation scenarios, we can see here which are the requirements that we are evaluating in this use case, which is the method. And once the project is end, this will be related also with the evaluation results of the demonstrators. Okay. Here you can see also the content. Okay, we have multimedia for each of the use cases, evaluation scenarios, the resource document, extra documentation, all the requirements, the test cases, and the workflows. Nowadays also we can do searching by methods and also by domains of them. For example, let's take robotics here, industrial robotics. Okay, and we can do the filtering, and we can see which are the use cases related with robotics. We can click on them and navigate and analyze the used methods, the evaluation scenarios, the domain. And the idea is to also, once we have the demonstrator results at the end of this project, we will also do the comparison and the searching using those elements. Here in the methods folder, we have all the methods. You can do the searching using in the right side of the web page. You have all the dimension of the framework with the layers, so you can do any. For example, I will check which are the methods that are used in the lab, that are, for example, formal, and we can do some searching using the element that we have used or define it in the multidimensional framework. Okay, here we can search for the methods, and we can do the filtering using the aspect that we have defined it in the framework. Here also, this is the information that we have uploaded in the last milestone of the project, that is relating the tools, the supporting tools, that are the tools that they are not being developed under the project. They are used in by different tools, different use cases. And also we have the improve or develop tools. Those are the ones that has been developed in this project, and we are using in the different use cases. Okay, so here we have the list. Nowadays we don't have any advanced searching features, but for the end of the project, you will have here also. We will continue working in the web repository until the end of the project. So we will have some, once they are used in the demonstrator, we have some criteria to do the searching and the comparison between them. Also here we have the standards that we are using in this project, that they have some impact in the use cases. Here in this other tab, you have the organizations that are involved in the project, and the glossary, because we have, when we are talking about verification and validation, all the community, sometimes we don't understand in the same way some words. So we have created how we understand those concepts in this project. So here you have the project vocabulary that we have created in this project, and finally the welcome page or the about page. Okay, so this is more or less what we have made public today. And okay, so I will continue. This is the link of the repo, repo.values.eu. Okay, this is a Plum-based content management system. Nowadays, we have 30 standards, 45 improved developed tools, 116 methods, 61 supporting tools, and 37 workflows. The idea is we have grouped all this information in a repository we have made public. That way, the community can have access to this state of art, and they can put in contact with some partners to ask about their method, the tool, because they are interested in that, or they can start improving also. And the idea is once the project is end, maybe the community can also add new methods, new tools, and new use cases to this public repository. Now we have 13 use cases and 41 organizations, test case, evaluation scenarios, and requirements. And we are still working. We have to map the demonstrator results of the project, also new views to highlight the results, and create different queries to compare tools and methods. And more or less, this has been the presentation of the last works done in the project, and also related with the web repository. Thank you.